Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Elia Patricia binti Muhammad Hidman. Today I would like to present my report on rail transportation focusing on KTM Tanah Merah Station. In this presentation, I will explain about characteristic, advantage and disadvantage, infrastructure and network, policies, issues, stakeholders, case study and also recommendation of the rail transportation. Let me start with introduce the importance of transportation. Transportation is very important in our daily life because it helps people move from one place to another easily. It also plays an important role in moving people and goods efficiently and safely. Besides that, transportation supports economic growth and improves connectivity between places. There are several modes of transportation which include air, sea, rail, road and pipeline transportation. Now, let's focus on rail transportation in Malaysia. Rail transportation is one of the earliest transportation systems in Malaysia. It was introduced in the late 19th century to improve transportation efficiently. Rail transport is important for both passenger and freight service as it helps transport people as well as goods. Because of its importance, rail transportation plays a key role in the country's transportation network. Next, there are four characteristics of this KTM Tanah Merah rail transport. For the first one is, it is located on the East Coast Line. This station is part of the KTM Intercity East Coast Line, widely known as the Jungle Railway. It is highly strategic as it connects Kelantan to another major states including Pahang, Negeri Sembilan and Johor. Second, it features a strategic location. KTM Tanah Merah is situated close to the town centre, making it easily accessible for both locals and visitors. This significantly enhance mobility and connectivity between rural and urban areas. Third, it is an eco-friendly mode of transport because rail transport can carry a massive volume of passengers at once. It helps reduce road congestion and lowers carbon emissions compared to private vehicles. Finally, it is a reliable and safe mode of transport. Silence trains operate on dedicated tracks with a structured schedule. They offer a much safer journey and highly predictable travel times for passengers. Action Network. Now, let's look at the advantage and disadvantage of using the KTM Tanah Merah rail transportation. Let's start with the advantage. First, it offers affordable transportation. Train fares are generally cheaper than private transport, especially when it comes to long distance travel. Second, it reduces road congestion by providing a reliable option. It encourages people to use public transport instead of relying on private cars. Third, it ensures comfortable and safe travel. Trains inherently have a lower accident rate and provide passengers with a much more comfortable journey overall. On the other hand, we also need to consider the disadvantage. The first drawback is the limited train frequency. Unfortunately, trains do not operate as frequently as buses, which limits options for travelers. Next, it has fixed route and schedules. This means passengers can only travel to destinations located along the railway line and they must strictly follow the set train timetable. Finally, there is the possibility of service disruptions. Delays can occasionally occur due to ongoing maintenance work, unpredictable weather conditions, or unexpected operational issues. Next, let's look at the infrastructure and networks that support this citation. There are four main components to highlight here. First, it serves as a major railroad. The station serves the Tempat to Gemas route, which is one of the main railway corridors for KTM Intercity. Second, it provides comprehensive passenger rail infrastructure. The station is well equipped with essential facilities including railway tracks, platform, waiting areas, ticketing facilities and parking space to fully support passenger services. Third, it offers great integration with local transport. Once passengers arrive, they can easily access taxis, e-hailing service and other forms of local transportation right from the station. Finally, it is a key part of the national railway network. KTM Tanah Merah plays a vital role in linking Kelantan to the wider nationwide KTM rail network across the rest of peninsular Malaysia. Next, let's look at the policies that govern and guide our rail transportation system. There are three key policies and acts relevant to this sector. First, we have the National Transport Policy or NTP spanning from 2019 to 2013. The main objective of this policy is to improve public transportation service, enhance connectivity and drive sustainability all across Malaysia. Second is the Railway Act 1991. This is a crucial piece of legislation used to regulate railway operations. It ensures that rail service maintain high standard of safety, operational efficiency, and proper management. Finally, there is the public transport promotion policy. This policy focuses on encouraging the public to use public transportation, which directly helps to reduce traffic congestion and lower our overall dependence on private vehicles. So, we're moving to the issues. There are three main challenges. The first issue is the aging railway infrastructure. Some of the railway tracks and facilities require continuous maintenance and upgrading to ensure efficient operations. The second challenge is limited accessibility. Passengers living far from the station may face difficulties accessing rail service, and this is primarily due to limited feeder transportation. Lastly, there is the issue of long travel distance. Rail journeys on the East Coast Line can take a significant amount of time compared to other modes of transportation, especially when it comes to long-distance travel. Next, let's identify the key stakeholders involved in and impacted by the KTM Tanah Merah rail service. First, we look at the government bodies overseeing this sector. The Ministry of Transport, MOT, they are responsible for developing transportation policies and constantly improving Malaysia's overall rail transport system. The Linked Public Transport Agencies, APAD, their role is to regulate public transport service, ensuring that all railway operations remain efficient and safe. The second one is Transport Operation, which is Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad, KTMB. As the main operator of KTM Intercity and Shuttle Timur, KTMB is directly responsible for daily train operation, maintenance, ticketing, and managing passenger services. The third one is passengers or consumer. Our actual users generally fall into two categories. Local residents who rely on KTM service for their daily commutes, whether for education, business or personal purpose. The second one is tourists and long-distance travelers who use the railway network to travel long distance between Kelantan and other states across Peninsular Malaysia. The fourth one is environmental groups. Because rail is a greener option, it is heavily supported by the Malaysia Nature Society (MNS), who actively encourage sustainable transportation practice. Other environmental NGOs, they support the use of rail transport specifically because it produces lower carbon emissions compared to private vehicles. Finally, the local community plays a massive role. The local community of Tanah Merah, they benefit from the improved accessibility, better economic opportunities, and increased mobility provided by KTM services. Local business and traders, they gain directly from the increased passenger movement, which actively supports and boosts economic activities all around the station area. Next, let's take a look at a specific case study regarding railway track maintenance and upgrading on the East Coast Line. We can break this case study down into several key areas. The first one is background. To give you some background, KTM Tanah Merah is an important railway station located on the East Coast Line or Jungle Railway in Kelantan. This station provides KTM Intercity and Shuttle Timur service, connecting local communities with other parts of Peninsular Malaysia. As one of the important stations on this route, it plays a significant role in providing transportation service for local residents, student workers and tourists. However, due to aging railway infrastructure, KTMB has periodically carried out track maintenance and upgrading works. The goal here is to improve operational safety, service quality, and passenger comfort. During these maintenance activities, train schedules may be adjusted, which unfortunately result in temporary disruption to normal services. The second one is stakeholder interaction. When this maintenance work happen, it involves key interaction between different stakeholders. The first one is KTMB. They are responsible for carrying out the physical maintenance and ensuring that train operation remain completely safe. The second one is Ministry of Transport (MOT). They provide the necessary policy direction and support for railway improvement. The last one is passengers. While passengers experience temporary disruption during the works, they ultimately benefit from safer and more reliable service in the long term. For the first one is impact on efficiency and effectiveness. These upgrading activities bring both positive and negative impact. Positive impact is we see improved safety of railway operations alongside better passengers' comfort and reliability. Negative impact is on the downside. It causes temporary delays and schedule changes, which can temporarily reduce a decline in passenger satisfaction during the upgrading process. So let's look at the issues and challenges highlighted in this case study. There are two main challenges that we need to address. The first challenges is aging infrastructure. Some of our railway facilities are older and require continuous upgrading just to safely meet current everyday transportation demands. The second challenge revolves around financial costs. Carrying out these crucial railway upgrades require as a very substantial investment from both the government and KTMB. Now let's look at the recommendation. Based on the finding, it have three key recommendations to the case study. First, recommend to increase investment in railway infrastructure. The government and KTMB should continue investing in railway modernization project, including track upgrades, signalling system and citation facilities. This improves infrastructure and enhance safety, reliability and overall service quality. Second, they should provide alternative transportation during major maintenance work. During large-scale maintenance activities, KTMB can collaborate with local transport operators to provide temporary bus service or alternative transportation option for the passengers. Third, it is important to enhance communication with passengers. KTMB should provide timely update regarding maintenance schedules, service disruption and train delays through mobile application, social media and station announcement. So, for the conclusion, in summary, KTM Tanah Merah is an important rail transportation hub that supports connectivity, economic activities and sustainable mobility in Kelantan. Although challenges such as aging infrastructure and service disruption exist, continuous improvement and cooperation among stakeholders can enhance the efficiency, safety and reliability of railway services. Therefore, rail transportation remains a vital component of Malaysia's transportation network and future development. That's all from me. Thank you.